Homeowners insurance is a form of property insurance that covers every kind of damage and loss to an individual's residence along with other assets in the home. It also provides liability coverage against small accidents in the home or on the assets. As we know that the coronavirus pandemic has hit all over the world. The government has to close different working places to avoid the spread of the virus. Different businesses shift on digital working and work from home. In an effort to put a lid on the COVID-19 outbreak, businesses throughout the world are allowing employees to temporarily work from home. While advancement in technology can make this happen without a hitch, it creates a whole new set of liability risks. After all, people under your employ are now working from different places, totally outside of the controlled office environment. If your home office requires a special setup, then you should inquire with your insurance agent about coverage for these expenditures. House insurance and homeowners insurance are the same, but it can get tricky. Because your policy covers more than your home, it is most commonly referred to as homeowners insurance. Despite the major impact that the COVID-19 pandemic has already had on our world, many experts are not convinced that it creates a significant change in the price of homeowners insurance in the near future. Claims expenses and loss ratios are the primary factors in home insurance premium change. At that point, maintaining basic things in your life right now is probably top of mind. And in this procedure, you are not alone. Most folks are wondering exactly how stay-at-home orders will play out financially and how it affects necessities and household bills such as home insurance. It is estimated that 47 million people lost their jobs or were furloughed during the pandemic. We can see a 32% unemployment rate in the US. So the question is, with those projections on the horizon, will home insurance be impacted? We haven't seen anything like COVID-19 pandemic in our lifetime, so we can't imagine how this pandemic will affect home insurance premiums. While it is highly improbable that the coronavirus pandemic has any direct structural impact on properties, the ongoing health crisis could affect the payment, coverage, and utilization of home and renters insurance. But if you know how to compare home insurance quotes like a pro, you can easily choose the more accurate policy. Homeowners policies do not cover pandemic exposure, but some reputable companies always encourage consumers to contact their insurance agents to do a review to ensure they are properly covered with the changing circumstances, whether it's homeowners, health, life, or auto, etc. While the risk to the structure of your house hasn't changed due to the pandemic, now is a good time to reassess both your personal property and liability coverage levels, especially if you're working from home. Could you potentially be held liable for getting someone else infected? Now, this is a much bigger question to be held, because when we go into the legal approaches of determining the liability on the disease, this is already a big area of contention. Importantly, many homeowners and renters insurance policies have virus and pathogen exclusions, which could be applicable to liability, loss of use, physical damage, and other coverage claims may be a bit slower, but the insurance industry is moving forward. If you have a claim, file it, and be patient. Social distancing measures are driving insurers to reduce any in-person interaction to a minimum level. It means depending on the company you work with, the claims process may be very different than what you're used to. Different companies have already turned to digital tools to process and pay claims. Companies' agents that may typically send a representative to inspect damages are also relying on online apps to investigate and process claims when possible. If you can't afford to pay the homeowner's premium at this time, then the company provides you different options to choose from. Check to see if your state's Department of Insurance has taken steps to protect consumers during this time, like requiring deferment or grace periods in response to the national emergency, or if it has any consumer suggestion. We also found that many of the largest insurers are offering support to their customers affected by COVID-19, so reach out to your insurer if you are having trouble affording your payment. Avoid skipping a payment at all costs because your policy will lapse, or no longer be in effect, leaving you without vital coverage. To get the most expedient help, many insurers' websites recommend managing your policy through their online app. But if you need to get in touch with your insurer to request a payment plan or grace period, it is still most important that you reach out, even if the wait on the phone is long.